Hello and good morning, everyone.
Hello, Rakesh. Good
Yeah,
morning.
hello. Yeah, good morning. Welcome to the first webinar of UI and UX on how to design landing page that sell. Myself, Rakesh, and I'm an UI and UX designer and also a co-founder at creativecrowd.in. Those who are not familiar, what is Creative Crowd? Let me give you a small brief. Creative Crowd is India's first creative crowdsourcing marketplace. If you need to design logo, business card, brochure, website, even mobile UI and UX, get unlimited designs within just 7 days. Or if you don't like any design, get your money back. So it's risk free. This, this is just to inform all the attendee, you all are in the mute mode. If you have any questions, please use our question box on the control panel. We'll try our best to answer all your possible questions, either at the middle of the session or at the end of the session. Now, to understand our audience better, we will run a quick poll there. And here's the poll. Have you ever,
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
okay, this is, have you ever run special landing page with your PPC campaign? You have the option and you can answer the question here. And that will give us a better understanding of who are attending here. Now, I have one exciting news to announce. During the time of the presentation, the attendee who will ask us the question, we will select one best question from uh, that question panel, and creativecrowd.in is giving 1 year free membership to one winner. So now, who all are don't know that what is pro membership on the Creative Crowd? Let me just brief you. If you are a pro member in Creative Crowd, you will showcase unlimited number of portfolios, and also you have the option to hire me. That means employer or the customers can directly contact with you, and also you have the option to connect with other employer or the possible customers in pro member. And if you want to know more about pro member, please visit creativecrowd.in /pages/pro. Okay, no more Creative Crowd. Now let's start our today's session, and that is how to design the landing page that actually convert the users as a customer, and that brings more and more sale. And for that, today we have a very exciting guest today with here with us, and I would like to welcome Mr. Arun Agarwal, who is not just a postgraduate engineer, but also an internet marketing guru. He runs his own company that called eBiz India Consulting, and I'm really happy to hear with us today, Arun. Uh, and welcome to the webinar, Arun.
Thank you, Rakesh. Good morning to all the friends and attendees. How are you doing, guys? Okay, I believe Rakesh has handed over the control to me, and I could probably share some of my findings, the things that I have learned from my experience in designing the landing pages for our clients, as well as all the vast research that goes on the internet. People do spend millions of dollars in researching what are the best landing pages and how they convert best, what will be the best conversion rate for visitors who click over to come to your site and then take the action that you desire them to take. Without much ado, let's begin. And to begin with, I would like to actually introduce the concept of landing pages with a little bit more clarity. most of the people feel that landing pages are the pages which people come to when they see your ad on AdWords or a similar service, or one of your banners, and when they click over and they land up on a special page. However, please remember that your home page is also your landing page. Anywhere that the customer enters your website becomes your landing page. But the design for the home page will be entirely different from a typical landing page for a campaign. The idea that you would like to concentrate on is the something which is I would like to be the biggest takeaway from today's webinar, and that is continue the experience. This is a tagline which you could possibly hammer into your brains. Whenever a person has been promised something in one of the banners or one of the AdWords ad, so if you say free ebook, or you say 30% discount, or you say special offer and do this and that, then this is the message that must be repeated on the landing page. So if you have shown a free ebook, download a free ebook on design concepts on your ad, and if they land up on the landing page and they see that this message is not shown, it becomes a switch and bait, and people will be very unhappy. This is the most important thing to take away from today's webinar. And we will also be now discussing some of the things that you could put on your landing pages to get a better appeal as well as a better conversion rate. By the way, just very quickly, conversion rate, as you already know, is the number of people who take the desired action on your landing pages when they come over. It could be filling up your lead form, or it could be downloading the ebook, or it could be taking advantage of your offer. But n number of people, if they take an action, and out of m people who have actually visited the page, so m by m%, the number of people converting to the total number of visitors becomes your conversion rate. Your landing page has to be visually appealing, no doubt about it. It has to be instant rapport builder, and the moment they see it, they should find, oh, this is something interesting, and I must really study it a little bit more because it delivers what it promises. After that, the important things that you have to keep in mind when you design your landing pages, that your value statement. You have a heading on the top of your landing page. Now this heading has to be very, very clear, very, very concise, and it must immediately explain the purpose of the page. So if you have an offer, you say, this is the offer, you can do this because this will be the advantage that you get. It is, you do not talk about your features out here. If you're selling a service or you're selling a product, you don't know about the product so much as, as we call YYFM. So what is in it for me? You have to take the viewer's viewpoint and then understand what is it that they are wanting to get, and give that statement which says this is what you get if you take the offer below. After you attractive headline, which should hook the customer or the visitor into reading the things below, you've got to outline some of your core benefits, and you have to explain that this is the benefit number 1, 2, 3. This is what you're going to get if you take up on our offer. Most of the time, people put the regular navigation of your website at the top of the page, but what happens is that this is a little bit of a distracting element, because a guy, instead of reading your main landing page message, he might actually click over onto one of the navigation elements and visit your main website, thereby taking him away from your preferred goal. So you should avoid the navigation at the top. However, if you have seen the AdWords rules, then they definitely like to have this page as a part of your website. And you are not supposed to take away the navigation entirely. So as a compromise, what you could possibly do is put the navigation elements or the menu options at the bottom of the page, and that will satisfy AdWords rules as well as not become a distraction for your regular customers. Videos are tested very heavily by the leading marketers, and they have been shown to add the conversion value of your landing page. So if it is possible for you to have a video, then by all means definitely put it there. However, the video the message that the video actually conveys should be in sync with the main message, and it should not become either an eye candy or something which distracts the guys away from the main concept. So if you have a good video which is in sync with the message, please by all means put the video there. Otherwise, you might as well have a slideshow. JavaScript slideshows are, so many of them are available now. So you could use one of them, or you could actually put a good graphic. But all the images, all the graphics, extreme, anything which is there on the page, it has to be in sync with your main message. Now, most of the landing pages are definitely used as a lead generator. So you are expecting people to fill up your form, enter your name and email address, and apply or download, whatever. Few things to keep in mind out here. One is that try to keep the minimum number of fields, because the more the number of fields, people will find it more difficult to fill up, and they might feel that I might as well come later and fill up this form, and thereby you have lost your visitor. So it is very important for you to actually have the minimum number of fields that will fulfill your purpose, and then you have to clearly, many I've seen many landing pages where they just put up, okay, download our ebook, name, email address, apply or submit or whatever, download. But it is very important for you to stress on the benefit that the visitor is going to get. What happens if I download this ebook? That is very, very vital. If you have skipped that important point, if you have not reinforced your key message, then you can expect the downloads to be very few in number. Now, in your landing page, you can have so many elements, but you have to actually highlight some of the things which are important. So one of the important things which I feel, and this is something for which I want to give marketing experiments credit, is that clarity beats persuasion. Whenever your message is clear, if you have only got few elements which clearly indicate what is it that the guy is going to get by taking up on your offer, then you can expect a very good conversion rate. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. People will be visiting your website, maybe wasting your advertising dollars, but they will not be taking you up on your offer. So it is very important that you highlight some of the core benefits and put them in prominent positions, so that even if the guy is not intending to stay there for very long, you actually caught their attention and conveyed the message that you try to give. Now, trust is another important thing which you have to build, and you get very few seconds to actually build a sense of trust, because if somebody is visiting a landing page, then they would be really skeptical about you. You understand that anybody online can put up a web page, put up an AdWords ad or a banner ad, and they could invite people and get them going. So whenever they have to take you up on your offer, whenever they have to fill up your form, they would actually like to understand whether they can trust you. And for this purpose, the best elements which you can put out there is the set of logos of your clients with whom you have already worked on, if they are well known in your industry. If you are a newbie, you just started, you don't have many clients or some impressive clients which people can be impressed with, you could possibly put logos of the credit cards that you accept, or some other services which you are using, for example, PHP, ASP, Microsoft. You can use, these are the technologies that I work with, maybe SAP, maybe any other hi-fi technology which you're using. You could even put some logos from them, or you could put the logos of your credit card companies from which you accept the payments. So any good quality logo, a few of them at the bottom of the page or well placed at the top, will definitely add to your credibility, and it will convince the prospect that it is okay to do business with you. Call to action is probably the most important element on your landing page, because it has to, don't put submit call to actions. You have to actually say download now or get started or something similar, which is more active verb, instead of just say submit, because submit has become a cliche. Everybody uses submit, and it does not actually convey that the guy is doing some action which they would benefit from. It looks more like they have to submit their information to you, like they submit to the government. So people have resistance to submit button, And I think it would be much better if you put a more direct action verb, which gives them an impression that whatever they are doing, if they're filling up the form, they are going to get benefited in terms of what they desire and what will be beneficial to them. However, a call to action is a must, and if you don't have a good call to action, if you don't ask them to click over to your regular website or download something or fill up the form and get the benefit that you have promised, then definitely you're losing out. A teaser is again a very important element. If you can have a small suspense creating element, or you tell them, while you have to have clarity, I just mentioned that your offer should be very, very clear, and within 3 seconds it must convey what exactly you're offering. But sometimes a teaser, because neuroscientists have long decided that the brain cannot leave a question unanswered. So if you put a teaser saying that if somebody clicks over to another page on your website, what they are going to get, and if there is a suspense element out there, and there is a high chance that people will actually click over to answer that question, because otherwise their brain does not allow them to carry over, and it will be constantly disturbing them. So a teaser, a well placed, well defined teaser, can become very, very useful to get them to take further action and dive deeper into your website. When you're putting a attractive headline on your web page, then you definitely have to add up some more content to reinforce the message which is there with the headline. However, you also need to have a secondary headline, because in the content you cannot have large chunks of content. People are not going to read that. So what you require is to put breaks into your paragraph. So if you have say 7 paragraphs or 5 paragraphs of text, then you have to put secondary headlines out there which will actually group these elements, because a large number of people, they do not read everything which is there on a web page. They just skim through the page. So if you have secondary headlines, these becomes temporary stop situations or stop points where they could actually stop. And let me give you a tip here. If you look at your web page and you decide that I will only read the heading and the secondary headlines, then that should by itself convey the complete sense of your web page. One should not have to read all the points, all the paragraphs, and they should still be able to get the essence of your page. That is very vital for your web page design. I'm sure Rakesh is going to talk a little bit about this later, but this is the basic idea that I wanted to suggest to you, is that you should group together some of your messages, put a headline out there, and give a sense of relief to the reader. Clean design is the most vital. I have already told you that clarity beats persuasion. Instead of putting up very, very persuasive, very stylish messages, because you know that the guys are in a hurry, they just want to have a quick look at the page and decide whether they would like to stay back or bail out. You should have a clean design, separate elements, well organized. This is again a layout issue that you guys being designers are very comfortable with, but sometimes we tend to put all the information on the page, because you feel that it is good to have convey all the information so that people are very, very convinced. However, the layout is very, very important, and you should actually have clean design, well laid out elements, and an order into it. Don't put elements all over the place. You could possibly like to have elements in well organized fashion so that the eye can track a path and consume all the information that you put there. Generally, it is seen, in some of the industries, you might like to go formal, especially when you're talking to enterprise customers or really serious customers with courts and other industries like insurance and all that. But if you're generally dealing with consumers or small and medium business enterprises, generally it is found that an informal approach where you introduce the problem and offer your solution, that becomes much more effective, because the guys actually gel with you much sooner. And you should include suitable photos, maybe of your team, maybe of the product. The best photo is of the product in action. So somebody enjoying the product. If it is a pain relief balm, then you could possibly show somebody having pain, trouble with that, And then there is another photo, maybe before and after photos, where then you can show that after they have applied your pain balm, then they have actually enjoyed, they have come up with the pain situation, and now they are enjoying life with their kids, with their families, or with their friends. So that is a very interesting way of approaching it. The before and after photographs. If you don't have that kind of a situation, then you could possibly show the product in action, or you can fall back on just showing the product photograph. But whatever photographs you are putting, whatever graphic elements you are putting, they should all be in sync with the main message. Don't just put stock photos, they don't work. People have learned to ignore the stock photos. You have to break the monotony. I have covered this topic a little bit earlier. I've told you that people have to actually see grouped messages, so that whenever they see the headings and maybe some bullet points, they should be able to get the message of the page very clearly. So breaking the monotony, instead of putting up large paragraphs of text explaining the exact technology behind the product, explaining how they will benefit, and maybe making big lists, that is a big no-no. You just put some headlines, some bullet points, convey the message, ask them to take action. Social proof is again a credibility builder. Say, for example, your product has got a Facebook page and you've got thousands of likes, lakhs is even better. Then you should definitely put up an element at the bottom of your product shot at a suitable place. So if it says Facebook 250 likes or 750 likes and 50 of your friends already like it, then that is definitely going to give them a social proof, and it says, well, my friends are already using it, or they at least like the product, so there is not much harm in me also trying this. So that social proof is very, very vital in getting them to nudge over the line. There are people who are just on the line, they are interested in your product, but they're not yet convinced to actually take action. In such situations, a small social proof can actually become a very, very important element to get them over the line and go ahead and take action. Of course, you have to ask people to contact you. You may have a form that they can fill up, and for quicker action. And this is very vital. Rakesh has told me that I take a lot of interest in mobile technologies, because I am seeing that people are connecting more and more with the mobile, wherever they are, whenever they want. In those situations, a phone number to call. Let me share an anecdote here. So many people on my website, I've got my personal phone number displayed, and so many people who have actually done business with me, they have later told me that when I saw your phone number on your website, then I realized that there is a real human being besides this website, and it is not somebody unknown whom I will not be able to contact if I ever need support. So putting up your phone number or an email address where you can actually respond to them directly, that can again become a very important factor in converting more people to take action. Be different. Some people call it the USP. What is your unique selling proposition? So if there is a pain relief balm, if there is a software, maybe you're selling a SAP additive software, or you're selling a task management software, you're designing services, anything that you're selling out there or asking people to contact you about, it has to be different. Now, some of the people have told me that how can I be different? I do web design, others are also doing web design. So how do you think I can become different? My tip to you will be that you try and find out one of the elements of your web design services which general people are not offering. For example, you may offer them a 24-hour turnaround time. So if somebody sends you a creative brief and they tell you that, okay, please design my website, you can promise them that your first mockup will definitely be in your hand within 24 hours. Or you could probably offer them a 6-month money back guarantee or 3 months money back guarantee, and say after 3 months also you say my website is not good, I will refund your money back. Of course, this is crazy. This is very, very important that you should be able to support this, because you don't want to do lots of designs and then refund everybody's money. So what guarantee you are going to give, what special element of your web design you're going to make stand out, that is up to you. You'll have to define it based on your situation. But one thing is very, very confirmed, is that if you are different, if you have something which others are not offering or at least not telling. Another interesting thing here is that sometimes we will find that everybody does the same thing. They also use Photoshop for their design. They also do XYZ. They also put a slideshow. But you may be the first one to tell that I will have a slideshow on your website, or I will have a free ebook on your website. So if you tell them something which others are not telling, that again helps you to stand out from the crowd. Once you have applied all these design technologies, the concepts of the layout and all the other concepts which actually make you marry the design with the marketing concepts, because it is not only important to have a very exciting design, it is also to introduce elements which push further your marketing, and then only you can get a better conversion rate and better results for yourself as well as your clients. Once you do that, you can just go ahead and design your landing pages with style, beside us in its famous, legendary video. Thank you very much. I would like to hand over back to Rakesh, and we can take over from here.
It was really, really exciting. It was really exciting, and before that, I would just like to show that what was the poll result. This is the poll result. You can see we started before starting the conversation. Now we got quite a few interesting questions, Arun, here. So first question is from Anusha Agarwal, and she is asking that I cannot understand the teaser when you talk about the teaser of the product. So if you can explain, Arun, that what is teaser once again, then I think Anusha will be happy to know that.
Yeah, sure. This is something interesting which you can actually put on your web page, because as I said, that you have to have clarity of your product. So just possibly you would feel like going ahead and explaining everything that is there on your product, what it does, how much it costs, and everything. So that is a very good element to have. But if you can have some kind of a suspense element, like you can say that if you download this book that we have, and which gives you more information about my product, or maybe if you say that there are some interesting elements, say you are a web designer and you want people to download one of your portfolio ebooks where you show say 5 or 10 exciting designs that you have done for clients. So if you say that we use some special elements in your web design which very few people do, and which actually aid your conversion much better, and you will get to see this in the ebook that I am offering. Please fill up this small form, put your name and email address, and I will send over the ebook to you, and you'll be able to see which elements we are putting there. So this kind of a suspense element where you've got something which is on offer, but the brain cannot find out what it is. The brain will actually push that guy to fill up the form and download your ebook to discover which elements you are putting there.
Okay, that was really helpful, I think, Anusha. Now the second question from Mohit. He is asking that can he make a full website in a typographical way? What is your take, Arun, on that? Infographical. Sorry, can we make a full website on infographical way? Sorry, I'm sorry. So, what is your take on that?
You see, infographic as such is just a graphic which gives you lots of information. But if you're selling infographic, or if you're selling to an industry, you can definitely put an infographic approach there. It will be very, very interesting. But what you need to do is, of course, you understand that the infographic look you can put on the website, but you actually have to render that in HTML because that is the only way people will be actually able to take action. So yeah, of course, this will definitely break the monotony, and as I said, be different. So if everybody is putting typical HTML website with multiple pages, why not put an infographic out there which explains everything about the industry and your offering, and asking them to take action? Yeah, definitely try this out.
Cool. So here Sivaram is asking a very interesting question that you talked just few minutes before, that put your personal contact number. So he is asking that if I am displaying my contact details in landing pages, then how can I track my lead source? That's very, very interesting. So what your take, Arun, on that?
This actually depends on who you are. If you are a freelancer, or if you've got a small company, all you are interested is in getting the lead. and you understand that people are really skeptical about sharing their email addresses now, because they are kind of worried that you would be starting to spam them with this and that offer. So I have seen a lot of people who, once they see a phone number, they immediately call, and your primary intention is to get a lead, a guy to call you. And imagine somebody who's just filling up an email address xyz@yahoo.com. Compare that to somebody calling you up from their mobile or the landline and directly talking to you then and there when they see your message. Imagine, it will be such so much more relevant, and you'll be able to probably convert him at a very, very high rate as compared to somebody who simply sent an email and maybe even forgets that he sent an email when you contact him back. So putting up a personal phone number, definitely exciting. Just very quickly, if you're an enterprise where you're just collecting leads from your phone and you have to actually sit down and count how many leads came in and all that, then you might actually like to avoid, because you don't even want to put up somebody's phone number there. So it entirely depends on your situation. But if you're a small time designer, if you're a freelancer, a phone number can really change the game. Try it out.
Yeah, that's really really interesting. One more question. I think it is also very interesting. Muhammad Kuram asked that I feel wireframing and prototyping tools will greatly help website designers. What is your views, Arun, on that?
Yeah, they do. Because if you can actually put up a wireframe of the design that you're going to set up for your client, and instead of spending, say, half a day or one day on a proper mock-up, if you can simply set up a quick wireframe in 1 hour and get your client's feedback quickly, you save a lot of time, and your total value from every project simply goes up. So wireframing is definitely a very good tool. In fact, I have seen there are people who actually build a full HTML pages for the home page or something, so that the client does not only get to see the layout, but also gets to interact with your web page. So feel free to you choose the way which you feel more comfortable with.
Any tools or anything you need to suggest, Arun?
Frankly, I am not knowing of any wireframing tools right now, because I rarely use a wireframing tool. Generally, we either show them a graphic mock-up, or if we all know that the client has already ordered and it's only a matter of convincing him, at times we go ahead and simply and directly show them the HTML mock-up, where they don't only get to see the look and feel of it, but rather not only the look of it, but also the feel of it. I
Okay,
personally
so
do not use wireframing.
okay, so here in creativecrowd.in, we generally use a wireframe tool that called Balsamic, and that's really powerful tool. And I will request all the designers and also the startup or entrepreneurs, please use Balsamic. It's really news, and that gives you a complete picture before going to your actual visualizer. You know,
Yeah, I think
so
a free trial is also available,
yeah,
so it will
yeah,
be quite
yeah.
interesting.
Uh, Here are so many questions, so let me take one. Mm, Here is one from Suneet Bhangarwa. So he's asking that does best landing page decrease PPC? It is very difficult to optimize. Is it very difficult to optimize landing page?
I think you're talking about decreasing the CPC when you
Uh,
say PPC,
uh,
because the cost per click with AdWords or with any other service, yes, they do decrease your cost per click in two ways. Number one is that if your landing page is converting well, if people are coming to your landing page and staying there for some time, and you have all the other quality score elements like the title and the message, which should actually be in sync with the promise of the ad, as I have mentioned. If people stay longer, then Google thinks it's a very good landing page, and they definitely decrease your cost per click by improving your quality score. That is one. And second, if more people are spending more time on your landing page, they're probably responding more to your offer, and you get more returns from your ad. So it's not a direct reduction of the cost per click, but the total return on investment is going up. So you win two ways.
Okay, that means if your landing pages is really, really means that effective, it will reduce your cost of click per Cost per
click.
click.
Yeah,
Yes, CPC
directly reduce the cost per click and also increase your return on investment.
means
So
the
definitely
conversion.
ways to
Yes.
have.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Here, Ravi Teja is asking a very interesting question to you directly. That suppose we are having a festive season coming up, let's say Christmas or
Yeah.
New Year. How important is it to include these themes in the designing landing pages? What is your take on
Pretty
that, Arun?
important. They are pretty important as long as they do not distract from the message. Because if you put, if it is now Christmas time is here, and if you put a theme which relates to the Christmas or New Year, you just give the overall impression, then people will possibly like it. But a lot depends on your audience and your product.
Yes,
Supposing you
exactly.
are not dealing with festive audience and they may not be impressed. Also, the New Year and Christmas decorations that you put on your website, they should actually not distract people away from the main message. So if you are selling a design service, please go ahead and put it. If you're selling a pain balm, I don't think it's going to have much effect, because if somebody is in pain, he is probably not very excited about you celebrating Christmas. He
Yeah.
wants, and then maybe you could put a good message like, if you're having pain and you can't go out and enjoy the Christmas parties, use my solution, and then you'll be able to get up and enjoy these functions even more. So basically, it's about linking the celebration to your key message.
Yeah, exactly. Means your product, your audience, that all should keep in mind, and then accordingly we should implement the either the design of theme of Christmas or landing page or your New Year. Right. Thanks,
And the
Arun.
things have to be
And
in harmony.
yes, yes, exactly. Here is one another interesting question from Arun Shekhar. He's also Arun, and that is that if someone is creating a coming soon page, that is also his landing page. So
Yeah.
what element you should actually keep in mind when you are designing this coming soon page?
We do coming soon pages all the time. Somebody gives us an order and says, okay, please create my website. So we would like to immediately put up a coming soon page. The mistake that people do is they just say coming soon and probably somebody digging the earth and all. But what you should actually do is put up the company name, put up what they do, what they offer, and some way of contacting, maybe an email address or a phone number. So even when it is coming soon, if your key message or your exciting graphics and everything is not ready yet, you should still be able to tell them that what this website is going to be about. So this is my company, this is my contact address, this is the thing I'm going to offer here. The page will be coming soon, more details will be coming soon. But if you want it now, please click over. And you'll be surprised, you will get 2 or 4 people coming over and giving you business even before your website is ready. So coming soon page, even the 404 pages, definitely put some more information out there to catch them, even if your main key message is not ready.
Okay, fine. So here another question from Abhishek Agarwal, and he would like to know that what we can try out many things, but is it important to test which element are performing well and which one not? So Arun, it is directly for you. Could you please let us know the best tool for splitting or split or multivariant testing?
Well, we generally use Google's experiment. They had earlier got a Google website optimizer thing, but now they have actually migrated this to analytics, Google Analytics experiments. This is a free tool which you can use, and you can definitely try out experiments. This is, I'm not sure, but probably they don't have a multivariate testing. They only have split testing, but I'll have to look into it. But testing landing pages is very, very important. If you're using AdWords, there is another way you can do it, is by putting up 2 ads, one with a URL which takes you to page 1 and another with a URL which takes you to page 2, and that way also you can test. So testing is a key element. Actually, it is a full subject in itself, so I did not want to cover much of it in the short amount of time that we had today. But we could possibly dedicate one of the future sessions entirely around testing web pages. If you're doing surveys, then I think Kissmetrics survey tool is also very, very useful, where you can actually ask open-ended questions and tell people what else you wanted to see on our web page, what other information you thought we should put here, and you can update your page with those information.
Okay. Thanks, Arun, for your kind answer. And here is one more question. It is also interesting that is it important from Ram Karan? Is it important to show the cost or pricing of the services or the product we deliver? Will that create more trust to the company or more trust to the customer?
This is a seriously interesting question, I would say. This has been a challenge all the time on our websites. Let me tackle it this way. Is price a key decision in your sales? So if it is something which is very, very price attractive, it's something very cheap or something which gives tremendous value for money, then you should put the price. So because when you are selling, you say, yeah, all this only for $50 or $100 or whatever. But if you're selling something big where it does not matter, for example, if somebody is going to buy a design service or an application for an insurance firm, they would probably not be interested if you just do it for $50,000. It might as well cost $100,000 or $200,000. But the services have to be reliable, they have to be responsive, they don't have to go down at any point of time. Then the price actually is not a factor. In those situations, please do not put the price. Another situation where you cannot put a price is where you don't know how much it is going to cost. So if somebody says web design, you can't say that we will do a web design for $100. It depends on the number of pages and the content and whatnot. So in those situations, another interesting thing you can do is you can say starting from $100. So people know that they can get something for $100 also. So what price to put or whether to put the price entirely depends on the situation, but you can apply some basic rules that I have outlined.
Okay, cool. Here, one question I think that suits to me only because although I'll ask to Arun that Bhabesh Shah is asking that any views on the best fonts or color we should use on the landing page. So, do you have any suggestion, Arun, on that? Any special font they should use or any special color they should use?
Why don't you go ahead and answer this, Rakesh?
Okay. See, the font, the color plays a very interesting role because the nature of the buyer, it's depend on the color. So we will coming up with another exciting webinar a few days after this webinar where we will talk about that how color actually convert your customers. So if you are using a color on your site and how that will attract to your customer to convert as a to your visitors as a customer. So we will talk about that. But yes, color is important factor on the landing page, and font I'll say try to use means open source web font which will be very very compatible for all the browser and all the machines. And if you can afford, then please go ahead and subscribe to all these commercial web font. Then it will also make a very good impact to your landing pages. And one more thing is always remember the personality of your site. If the personality shoot with your very corporate stylish, so use some kind of serious font. If it is something for any festive season like the new year or Christmas, so the font has to associate with that particular mood. So personality is very important with your font and the color. So for the color we will coming up after a few days with a new session and we will inform you on that.
Rakesh, I would quickly like to add a point here. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
sure.
to interrupt you. One of the key mistakes which I see a lot of people doing on their websites, not only landing pages but also on the website, is that they want to look very stylish and they use micro fonts, very very small fonts. So somebody who's probably 20 years of age and he says, well, I can definitely read this clearly. What's the problem if I use small fonts? I can show more information. One thing you have to remember is if you use small fonts, number one is you're making website look very congested, and two is that if your target audience is middle-aged or say for example you're selling, as I keep mentioning about a pain balm, because solutions to pain actually sell much better. So if you're selling a pain balm for say arthritis, then you are expecting people of 35, 40, 50 age to have that kind of a problem. and they will not be comfortable reading your small fonts. So if your audience is of middle age, then you should possibly use larger size fonts so that they can comfortably read it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. No, fine. So moving forward with our question session, we have another exciting question. That is, do you think will all the key points suits to e-commerce landing screen as well? This is asked by Santhil. So, what is your take on there, Arun?
Yeah, in e-commerce, if you're selling something, then it is very, very important. In fact, it might be more important because the guy has to take an instant decision. But again, if, for example, if you're selling speakers or you're selling a device, then you don't give, probably your product has got 50 features. So you don't want to make a list of 50 features. What you could possibly do is that you could show the 5 key points which are really differentiating your product from the others. So if you've got a 5.5-inch Super AMOLED screen with ultra high resolution and HD and whatnot, highlight those features, and then possibly you could have a read more kind of a thing where somebody who's actually interested in taking a look at every single feature that your phone has got, he could possibly click over and see more details. But you don't make a list of 50 items, that will become too much clumsy.
Okay, okay, cool. Here, one question again with related to price, but it is some the industry is something different. So that's the reason I will ask this question to Arun, and this question asked by Ambika Poddar, and the question is, I have a diamond jewelry website. Do you think I should make a mention of price in my landing page? Interesting.
Very interesting. Ambika, I've already answered this, but I would just like to repeat this. Do they buy your diamond jewelry for the price? So if it is, for example, very, very exciting design that looks very rich, very gorgeous, and typically people would probably associate a value of say 5 lakh rupees to your product, but you are actually selling it for 50,000 because you're using smaller size diamonds or diamonds with a different color, not so much white. So if that you're thinking that people will actually buy this jewelry because my God, stunning jewelry only 50,000, I must really get it. So if that is the situation, put your price. If you're just trying to attract them because of the look, because of the quality, and you say this is a diamond jewelry which you're not going to get anywhere else, our designs are the best, and maybe you're charging a premium for that. So something just based on gold and diamond value, they might get it for 5 lakhs, but you are going to charge 6 lakhs because a super duper designer has designed the jewelry. In those cases, you don't want to spoil the fun by putting the 6 lakh price tag and turning them away even before they've had a look at the jewelry. If it is an e-commerce thing, you're selling it online, there is no way you cannot avoid putting the price anyway.
Cool. That means if my product will sell only for the price, I should go for displaying the price. Or if my product only sell for the quality, so I should actually hide my price. Is it that?
Hide, or maybe you can put it somewhere below where it is not all that prominent, because in terms of clarity you definitely. Another interesting thing here I would like to cover for some of the people who are always worried about whether to put the price or not. I have seen a few situations where there is something which I could possibly get for $100. The price is actually $100, but the website is so rich, it looks so exciting that I get a mental image. Oh, this must be costly. It must be $500 at least. It's such a lovely product. So I don't even contact the supplier. Must be very
Mhm.
expensive. I'm sure I cannot afford it. But then you're in for a shock because this is only $100. I could have actually bought it if I had seen the price. So as I was mentioning, if price could be having a role in the marketing, definitely put a price up there prominently, or you could possibly put an indication of the price somewhere. So if I'm excited by the quality, I also get to see that yes, it is quite affordable, I can go for it. Then you may be low profile, but you put the price. I always prefer to put the price when I'm in a doubt.
Okay. Okay. So one question is from a little bit of technologically point of view. What from Ram Karan again? What if I am an animation company, and is it important to use Flash based animated website with sound to attract customer? So I think Flash nowadays is now means replaced by HTML5. So what is your call on that, Arun?
You already know that Apple is not promoting Flash at all. Adobe is also going slow on Flash. As Rakesh points out, HTML5 is heavily replacing Flash. So if you are selling something else, then you like your animations, if they are Flash based, and if they will only work on people who are willing to take on Flash, then you have no choice. You have to definitely put a Flash, because that will be a sample of your work. If I'm going to buy some animation work from you, I would actually like to see what kind of animation you do, and you must use animation in your marketing. However, if you're selling something else, if you're selling insurance, and you could possibly use Flash to demonstrate a situation, you should definitely consider other solutions like slideshows or HTML5 based animation to demonstrate the same concept, and maybe avoid Flash, because a large number of people will consume your website from an Apple device. They may use an iPad, they may use an iPhone. If that happens, and in some of the Android devices also, I have seen that Flash is not fully or well supported. So if you have a scope, please avoid Flash. If there is no way out, might as well go ahead and use Flash.
Cool. So here, one question from my side, Arun, that the animation via HTML5 or via your other tool, and the video, uh, which one you will prefer as a content to display on the site?
I generally prefer video, because video is very attractive. If it can convey the meaning, it of course becomes a little bit more expensive to have videos on your website. So unless you have got a real value which you can convey through video, then you use video if possible. If you cannot afford to have video on your website because you're selling something cheap and a video is definitely going to cost you a lot, then you might start without using a video. But videos definitely boost the conversion. However, if it is just a simple message you want to convey, you could as well use attractive, well placed, well designed graphic or text instead of video, because you don't want to do an overkill.
Exactly, exactly. So we almost come to our end of the session. We have very limited time right now, so I am not going to take any more questions. Although the entire recorded session will be available on our website, creativelayers.in, and also you will get the required material for downloading from the site. Before conclusion of the presentation or today's webinar, I would like to thank you all the participants who are here, and also I would like to thank Arun for coming here and joining us today and giving us such a wonderful message for designing the landing page that sells. And guys, don't forget, if you want to design a professional landing page, please try creativecrowd.in and get unlimited designs. Or if you don't like any designs, you will get your money back. So don't forget to try creativecrowd.in, and also please put your feedback to our Facebook page, that is facebook.com/creativelayers.in. So once again, thank you guys, and we really hope to see you again in our next webinar. Cheers, bye bye.